On KRDO 13, a Pueblo mother is preparing to bury her son while police continue the search for his killer. She believes her son's former gang ties may have played a role in his death.
Even though he had left that life behind and was volunteering with a prominent gang prevention group in Pueblo. KRDO 13's Barbara Fox is live tonight on East 14th Street, where he was killed early Sunday morning. Barbara, what is that mother saying to you tonight?
For Heather, 40-year-old Daniel Smith was killed here on the city's east side. His mother openly shared with us that he was a former gang member. But after he served his prison sentence, he decided to leave that life behind him and started volunteering with Hard Knocks Gang Prevention to help at-risk youth get off the streets.
It's like a nightmare. It is. It's like it's not real. My nerves are shot. I can't eat. I can't sleep.
On New Year's Eve, Grace Smith received the call that her son, 40-year-old Daniel Smith, had been shot and killed on East 14th Street in Pueblo. Police are now looking for his killer, but she believes her son's former gang ties may have played a role in his death.
The thing is that there's consequences for getting in gangs and there's consequences for getting out of gangs.
Smith's mother says he joined the West Side Chicos at the age of 11 or 12. All told, he served at least 10 years in prison and even made headlines in 2006 after escaping the Pueblo County Jail using a rope made out of bed sheets.
They don't care. They don't care if you get locked up. They don't care what happens to you. Your mom does. Your father does. If you have a father, he realized that. They're not his friends.
After Daniel was released from prison a few years back, he realized that he was done with that life. A point driven home when his own son was violently killed.
His son was not active, but he was affiliated, like guilty by association.
That's Mark Salazar, a former gang member who's now the founder of the nonprofit Hard Knocks Gang Prevention. He works daily to help at-risk youth who have found themselves tangled up in gang culture. He says Daniel worked alongside him for the last year and was in the process of establishing his own nonprofit, DH23, named in honor of his son.
He did classes to be like a gang specialist. Daniel was doing classes for that. He got a certificate, for personal trainer. He got a CPR.
Now as she's preparing to bury her son, she's hanging on to the good times, but also mourning the life he could have had helping kids change their own lives.
He was just an awesome son. I'm going to miss him.
Pueblo police say it's too early on in their investigation to determine if this is gang-related or not. If you have any information about what happened here early Sunday morning, you're advised to contact the Pueblo Police Department. Reporting live on Pueblo's east side, Barbara Fox, KRDO 13.